Season 6, Episode 1, another fantastic car that just rolled into the barn. I'm Gaston Rossato.
I'm Rossato, and we're looking at the 1999 Ferrari 550 Maranello.
That's right, guys. A 50,000 mile Maranello. What a beauty. A driver's car.
That's right.
We're going to talk a little bit more why you shouldn't be afraid of driving your cars. It's raining today. It's a perfect situation.
It is. It really is, guys. Hit that subscribe button for us. And like you said, it's a perfect driver's car, so let's get it on the road.
Sure.
I think that I should warn you. There's something about to change. We're standing at the border where history is made.
All right, we're sitting in the 550, our most recent inventory at the barn in Miami, right?
Which
This
I don't
just
know.
came in.
Which I don't know if it's going to be listed when this video is posted because we want to give the car a little TLC.
Yeah.
It was a really cool find out in the middle of nowhere. We'll talk about that later in the walk around.
Right.
But you know, there's nothing like a V12 gated shift front engine Ferrari. It's as classic as it comes. It's the epitome of Ferrari. And this one has 50,000 miles, which I love.
Yeah, and a lot of people get scared about that. But I think it makes this the perfect driver car, a car you can really enjoy.
It drives so much better than lower mileage cars that we've had in the past.
It's true.
They're meant to be driven, and we want to embrace that.
So let's talk a little bit about the 550. Production years are from 96 to 2002. A total of about 3,000 cars were made. And they did introduce the Berlinetta, which is a roadster version, but
Yes.
only about 550, I believe, was the number of those of the production numbers.
Yeah, very limited
So
car.
very limited car. 485 horsepower, 5.5 liter V8. It's a heck of a car. We're almost knocking out all our V12s here. Almost.
That's kind of the goal, right? We want to do the whole lineup. We've done Testarossa, which is technically the predecessor to this car,
is.
although
Technically it's a 512 TR, right? But it's Testarossa. We've done the one previous to the 512, and we have done the 575.
and the 550.
And now we're doing the 550.
Well, the 599, I meant to say.
Exactly, 599. So we're getting through the cars.
Getting
So
through the lineup, yeah.
obviously the Testarossa was a flat engine, flat 12,
Right.
and the last car to have the front engine V12 before the 550 was the 365 Daytona GTB.
Which is already a classic
Oh.
and a very desirable,
Yes.
high money car.
So
These are still very affordable today.
Yeah.
This will be the next car to really blow up in price drastically. You know, everything goes up over time,
Right.
but I see a big gap coming, and it already happened. Granted, it already happened, and this 550 pretty much gets broken down in two different categories. You have the very low mileage cars, the ones that people are buying for collectability,
Right.
and then you have the higher mileage cars, and there's a big price gap between those two. But like to say, you know, the tide rises all boats.
I think that I should warn you.
All right, so it's time for our walk around so we can get a little more of a history on this particular 550 here. Tell us a little more about how we found the car.
Well, first and foremost, the sun came out, the water dried, and we were so excited to get this thing wet and dirty to demonstrate that in fact it does not melt in the water. Okay? You could drive Ferraris. And again, we're gonna embrace that today
Yes.
with a 50,000 mile example. Okay? This car stumbled upon us because a couple years ago a gentleman walked in through the door looking for an E-Type Jaguar. We had this beautiful Series 3 car, V12 also. Unfortunately, we didn't strike a deal. He walked out. But many years later, he gives me a call and says, hey, I got this 550. I want to sell it. So at the time, last week, he living out in South Florida here, about 100 miles away, in the middle of nowhere, countryside, and the car was sitting there. It looked kind of, it just kind of looks good outside of a normal
Environment
that you would think the car should be, right?
Actually, if you want to see what that looked like, make sure you're following us on Instagram, because he did post some cool pictures of this car, the way it was sitting there in that.
That's very true.
Yeah, so.
What I love about the car is, though, it's highly documented. We have the original window sticker,
right.
all the tools, all the books, all the keys, the key fobs, the car cover, seat cover, steering wheel cover, the canister.
Records of maintenance.
Records of maintenance, where the car started, clean Carfax. It's incredible. It's got the Daytona optional seats.
Right.
It's got the 250 GT style back rack shelf, and the headliner in that diamond stitch, which really stands it out.
I love it. That diamond stitch headliner is just an awesome feeling when you're sitting in the car. It really just completes it. And I think that was really the only option this car came with.
These cars have very little option. I've said it, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's such a beautiful car, a Pininfarina design. The car is timeless. It's aging incredibly beautifully.
No, the age, it looks amazing. And also this car, we're bringing it to you guys as soon as we got it. And the plan is, like we mentioned, is to give it a little love that it needs. You're gonna notice the center cap wheels are missing. Very minor details.
We're gonna put new tires on it.
We're gonna put new tires and put the center cap wheels. We're gonna, you know, detail it, get it nice and pretty.
Absolutely.
And it's, I just can't get over the fact of how nice that interior is and the condition of the interior. The dash is not cracked. The seats are not cracked.
Exactly.
It's just a.
It doesn't have the sticky buttons.
It doesn't have the sticky buttons. It's such a great car.
Let's open up the hood.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
You know, we're talking about so much praise on the V12 Ferrari. Let's take a look at that thing. Look at that beast.
What a beautiful engine. And so clean.
Red heads, very typical. They put in the money, the time, the maintenance that it needed to continue going, right?
And this is a 2-owner car, right?
2-owner car.
So it's not something that's been passed around. It's been with just 2 guys, and they obviously took care of it and drove it, which is the best part.
Drove it.
So speaking about driving it, I think it's my turn, and let's head back to the barn.
Let's do it.
I think that I should warn you. There's something about to change. We're standing at the border where history is made. We're cranking up the lights now.
All right, we're back at the barn. I just want to keep driving the car. It's, you know, it's not that you don't care, but you're a little less, you know, worried about, you know, getting the dings and the scratches and the miles and all those things like we mentioned.
You don't enjoy a car until you have that full peace of mind of, I could drive it, it doesn't matter. I could dirty it, it doesn't matter. When you get rid of all that, you truly begin to start enjoying the car. And that's what I love about this car.
And I know I say this every car, but it really is such a pleasure to drive. We finished off the last season with the Lusso, and yes, heck of a car, and you really enjoy it, but you always have that worry, like, oh, I don't want to get a new scratch on this thing, because you'll see it right away, you'll notice it right away, I don't want to get it dirty, I don't want to put the miles, all these things. This, you just want to keep going and going, because you have no worries, and it's, I mean, I can't get over that gated shifter.
And you pay less for that beautiful experience. So
that's very true.
We endorse the car, guys. Thank you for watching this week, and we'll be back next.
Please
hit that subscribe button.
That's right.
I'm Gaston Rossato.
And I'm Renzo Rossato. We'll see you next time. Peace.